In the symphony of conformity, your authentic voice rings like a thunderclap, clear, unapologetic, and true. When you choose to shine in your full brilliance, refusing to shrink your spirit or mute your wisdom to soothe fragile egos, they might mistake your radiance for pride. But beneath their whispered criticisms lies a deeper truth. Your unwavering authenticity holds up a mirror to their carefully constructed facades. It's not your strength that disturbs them, but the reflection of their own compromises. In a world where mediocrity masquerades as modesty, your decision to embrace your full potential becomes an act of quiet revolution. Every time you choose truth over comfort, excellence over acceptance, you're not just standing your ground, you're elevating the ground itself, creating new heights of possibility for those brave enough to follow. There's a certain electricity in the air when you choose to remain undiluted, authentic, and true to your essence. Like a diamond that refuses to be mistaken for glass, your clarity becomes both your armor and your light. They squirm in your presence, not because you shine too bright, but because your radiance illuminates the shadows they've grown comfortable hiding within. When you decline to participate in the dance of pretense, refusing to nod at empty words or echo hollow laughter, you disrupt their carefully choreographed performance of mediocrity. Your genuine spirit becomes a tuning fork, revealing the dissonance in their artificial harmonies. In their eyes, your greatest offense isn't your strength or your success. It's your unwavering commitment to truth in a world that trades in comfortable lies. Every time you stand in your power, undiminished and unapologetic, you create ripples that transform their still waters of complacency into waves of uncomfortable recognition. In a world that skims the surface, you're an ocean diver, perpetually seeking the profound depths that others fear to explore. Your soul speaks in symphonies while they trade in whispers and white noise. Every shallow conversation feels like a cage to your spirit, every meaningless exchange a weight upon your wings. You're not built for the superficial dance of social pleasantries. Your heart beats to the rhythm of raw truth and deep connection. When others float in the shallow end of existence, trading in gossip and hollow pleasantries, you're swimming in the deep waters of authentic living, where every interaction carries the weight of meaning, every word holds purpose, every moment contains possibility. This isn't mere introversion or social selectivity. It's the natural resistance that occurs when a soul committed to depth encounters a world in love with its own reflections. Your inability to participate in the masquerade isn't a flaw. It's your finest feature, a testament to your unwavering commitment to substance in a world intoxicated by shadows. Your presence is a quiet revolution, a wordless testimony that echoes through their carefully constructed halls of pretense. When you choose authenticity over acceptance, your very existence becomes a mirror that reflects back uncomfortable truths. In your dignified silence, in your gracious refusal to participate in the theater of small talk and superficial niceties, you become a living testament to what they could be if they dared to shed their masks. They mistake your depth for distance, your authenticity for arrogance, because it's easier to label what threatens them than to examine why they feel threatened. Your strength lies not in what you project, but in what you reject. The comfortable lies, the polite fictions, the social scripts that keep everyone safe but small. Like a lighthouse standing tall amidst a storm, your unwavering authenticity doesn't just illuminate the path, it exposes the rocks they've been pretending not to see. Their accusations of aloofness are merely echoes of their own fear of the person they might discover if they stopped performing and started being. Truth walks silently in human form when you enter a room, not wielding judgment, but simply existing in your raw, unfiltered state. Your authenticity isn't a weapon. It's a light that naturally exposes the shadows others have learned to live within. Like a tuning fork that reveals discord simply by vibrating at its true frequency, your presence disturbs the delicate equilibrium of their carefully constructed worlds. They mistake your self-possession for pride, your depth for darkness, unable to comprehend that you're not holding up a mirror to mock their reflection, but rather standing firmly in your own truth. The intensity they claim to fear in you is merely the undiluted nature of a soul that refuses to be watered down for easy consumption. When they whisper too much behind cupped hands, what they're really saying is too real, for your very existence challenges the comfortable numbness they've mistaken for peace. Their discomfort isn't your burden to bear. It's simply the natural reaction when authenticity meets artifice, when depth encounters shallow waters, when someone who has embraced their whole self meets those still hiding from their own reflection. Like a solitary star burning bright in a constellation of conformity, your mere existence challenges the choreographed dance of social expectations. You stand apart not through rebellion, but through the quiet revolution of self-acceptance, a force more disruptive than any loud protest could ever be. While others huddle in the warmth of collective validation, sharing whispered judgments and drowning authenticity in shallow pleasures, you remain unmoved, anchored in the bedrock of your own truth. Your refusal to participate in their ritual of mutual validation isn't an act of superiority, but rather a testament to your self-sufficiency. Each time you decline to join their chorus of agreement, each moment you choose depth over distraction, you unknowingly hold up a mirror to their collective dependence. They see in your peaceful solitude what they fear most: the possibility of standing alone, the strength required to trust one's own compass. Your independence isn't a judgment of their interconnected web of validation. It's simply the natural state of a soul that has found its own center of gravity, requiring no external orbit to maintain its course. Authenticity is a gentle earthquake, quietly disrupting the fragile foundations of those who've built their lives on the shifting sands of external validation. Each time you choose depth over superficiality, truth over comfort, you become a living testament to a freedom they both desire and fear. When you stand firm in your truth, declining to participate in the daily theater of forced laughter and empty exchanges, you're not just choosing silence, you're demonstrating the power of self-contained worth. Their accusations of pride or aloofness are merely echoes of their own imprisoned authenticity, crying out from behind the bars of social conformity. Your difficult nature, as they label it, is simply the natural resistance that occurs when genuine substance meets practiced pretense. Like a deep-sea creature suddenly illuminating the darkness, your uncompromised self-expression reveals the shallow waters others have convinced themselves are depths. Their discomfort with your authenticity isn't a signal for you to dim your light. It's evidence that you're shining bright enough to expose the shadows they've been hiding in. Remember, their need to label you as problematic is inversely proportional to their courage to face their own unexamined lives. Your authenticity isn't a lighthouse meant to cast shadows on others' shores, but rather a quiet flame that burns steady and true to its own nature. When you choose depth over dilution, when you stand firmly in your truth without apology, you become a living reminder of what's possible when one refuses to shrink their spirit to fit into predetermined spaces. The discomfort you create isn't born from judgment, but from resonance, like a tuning fork that vibrates at its true frequency, causing everything around it to either harmonize or reveal its discord. Those who react most strongly to your presence aren't seeing your superiority. They're catching glimpses of their own buried potential, their abandoned dreams, their compromised truths. Your unwavering commitment to authenticity serves as an unconscious invitation, a gentle but persistent reminder that we all carry depths waiting to be explored. While they may label your thoughtfulness as aloofness or your intensity as arrogance, what they're really encountering is the mirror of their own unlived life, the reflection of paths not taken, of voices silenced for the comfort of conformity. Your gift isn't in making others feel small. It's in demonstrating that there's no need to make yourself smaller to fit into spaces that weren't designed for souls that run deep. That persistent ache you feel when asked to dim your light isn't weakness. It's wisdom speaking through your bones, the ancient knowing that authenticity is your birthright. Like a wild horse that instinctively resists the bridle, your spirit naturally rebels against the artificial constraints of social conformity. While others find shelter in the familiar shadows of collective behavior, your soul seeks the open spaces where truth can breathe freely. That discomfort you experience in shallow waters isn't a sign of maladjustment, but rather your deep nature calling you to swim where others dare not venture. Your resistance to fitting into pre-carved spaces isn't stubbornness, it's self-preservation at its most sacred level. When you honor this inner calling, standing firmly in the full expression of your being, you become a living testament to the power of uncompromised authenticity. Your journey may seem solitary, but your courage creates ripples that touch shores you cannot see, inspiring others to question their own self-imposed limitations. In embracing your natural depth, you don't just free yourself, you become a silent permission slip for others to reclaim their own wild truth. While many may shy away from your authenticity, there are those, kindred spirits, who will recognize it as a rare and powerful force, and they will be drawn to it like a beacon. These are the connections that truly matter, the ones built on mutual respect, depth, and a shared refusal to compromise on what is real. Seek these souls and release the need to appease those who cannot yet understand or embrace your energy. The right people will honor your truth without asking you to diminish yourself. Your role as a chosen one extends beyond self-preservation. It is a quiet act of service. By standing firm in your authenticity, you set an example, showing others that it is not only possible, but necessary, to live in alignment with one's values. Even when met with resistance, your integrity becomes a catalyst for transformation, planting seeds of change in a world that too often demands superficiality over substance. Understand this: your refusal to conform is not an act of defiance for its own sake. It's a declaration of freedom, a spark that ignites change in those around you. By standing unwavering in your truth, you create a space where others feel empowered to do the same. Your courage to live authentically is a quiet revolution, a rebellion against a world that values blending in over being whole. Detachment is your superpower, chosen one. When you step away from shallow interactions and refuse to invest in meaningless dynamics, you send a clear and unshakable message. Your energy, time, and authenticity are sacred. In a society obsessed with external approval and fleeting validation, your choice to disengage is a bold act of self-respect, not arrogance. You've come to understand that not every battle is worth fighting, not every stage is worth stepping onto, and not every voice deserves your response. This isn't just detachment, it's mastery of your own essence. While others scramble for validation or bend under the weight of external approval, you stand rooted in the quiet strength of knowing your worth needs no justification. This unshakable confidence unsettles those who rely on manipulation or conformity to maintain control, for your detachment renders their tactics useless. They cannot guilt you, ridicule you, or twist your emotions to fit their agenda, and this loss of influence leaves them frustrated and exposed. But your detachment is not an act of defiance, it is an act of self-honor. By stepping away from shallow dynamics, you step toward a deeper connection with yourself, carving out space for growth, clarity, and alignment with your higher purpose. In this solitude, often misunderstood by others, you uncover the profound truth that no one's opinion holds power over your reality. And while your freedom may provoke resentment or resistance, it also sparks a quiet admiration. Even those who outwardly oppose you can't help but recognize the courage in your choices, for deep down, their spirits long for the same liberation you've claimed. Your independence is more than just a defense against conformity. It's a blazing light that cuts through the fog of mediocrity, revealing a path that others fear to tread, yet secretly yearn for. It's this very light that defines you as a force of transformation, a titan who refuses to settle for the ordinary. That's why spaces like the Lumination Inner Order exist, not as a sanctuary for the faint-hearted, but as a crucible for the bold, a council of visionaries who reshape reality to match their will. Each week, over 450 trailblazers converge in electrifying sessions that go far beyond mere motivation. They are the master keys to unlocking untapped potential. And the brilliance doesn't fade. It's preserved, immortalized in recordings, ready for you to harness whenever you're ready to ignite your next surge of power. This isn't just a gathering, it's a movement for those who dare to dominate. Every society operates on an invisible script, a set of unwritten rules designed to uphold the illusion of harmony. These rules often revolve around shallow gestures, agreeing to fit in, laughing to appease, and pretending to care about things that hold no real meaning. But for someone like you, these games feel empty, even suffocating. You don't reject them out of defiance or pride, but because they clash with the core of who you are. Your integrity refuses to bow to a system that demands you compromise your truth for the sake of comfort. While others find safety in conformity, you feel a profound unease in blending in, as if wearing their masks would suffocate your spirit. To step away from these dynamics is not an act of rebellion, but an act of self-preservation, a choice to honor your authenticity, even when it comes at a cost. Yet, the consequences of refusing to play the game are real, as your presence alone challenges the fragile equilibrium others work so hard to maintain. Your authenticity acts as a mirror, reflecting back the emptiness of the distractions others use to shield themselves from deeper truths. When you choose not to laugh at their hollow jokes or partake in their surface-level chatter, it's not out of judgment, but out of alignment with something more meaningful. Yet, this quiet refusal unsettles them, forcing them to confront the very things they've been avoiding. In their discomfort, they may try to pull you back into the game, using guilt or mockery as tools to restore their fragile sense of balance. They might label you as too serious or accuse you of thinking you're above them, but these reactions are not about you. They are projections of their own unease. Your presence challenges the delicate structure they've built, not by attacking it, but simply by existing outside of it, showing them that a different way is possible. When you stand unwavering in your truth, you become a living testament to the idea that the game is not only unnecessary, but hollow. This realization shakes them, not because of who you are, but because of what you represent, a disruption to the carefully maintained status quo. Your refusal to conform shines a light on a different path, one that values authenticity over appearances and purpose over approval. This challenges their comfort, forcing them to reckon with the fact that they too have the power to step away from the game. Yet, stepping away demands courage, a rare and precious quality in a world that rewards conformity and punishes deviation. Your defiance is not just an act of self-liberation. It's a quiet rebellion that exposes the fragility of the social constructs they cling to, inviting them to consider a life built on deeper, more meaningful foundations. In every interaction, your authenticity becomes a quiet yet powerful force, disrupting the fragile equilibrium that egos rely on. Though it may create discomfort or tension in the moment, it plants seeds of transformation, seeds that may take root long after the interaction has passed. Your courage to live outside the confines of societal games is an unspoken invitation for others to question their own masks, even if they don't consciously recognize it yet. The ego, delicate and defensive, seeks validation and resists anything that threatens its constructed identity. When you walk into a space fully aligned with your truth, unapologetically yourself, you become a mirror reflecting both possibility and insecurity. Their frustration is not truly directed at you, but at the way their egos react to the freedom and authenticity you embody, a reminder of what they too could embrace if they dared to let go. Your authenticity is a quiet revolution, a force that shakes the foundation of their carefully built facades. While most people cling to masks crafted to shield their vulnerabilities and win approval, your refusal to conform exposes the weight of their pretenses. To their egos, your presence is unsettling, a reminder that there is another way to exist, one that doesn't rely on validation or external approval. This alternative terrifies them because it renders their personas unnecessary, stripping away the illusions they've depended on for so long. When you don't feed their egos with the validation they crave, their discomfort manifests as disapproval, passive aggression, or even hostility. But their reactions are not truly about you, they are a reflection of their inner conflict, a struggle against the truth you embody, a truth that dares them to question the reality they've created for themselves. Their frustration, though often masked as resentment, is at its core a silent plea for something deeper, a yearning for the freedom they sense in you, but cannot yet claim for themselves. This clash is not merely a battle of personalities, it is a spiritual collision between your authenticity and their ego, which clings to fear and insecurity. Your presence, grounded in truth and alignment, shines a light that exposes the shadows they have long avoided. This tension they feel, though uncomfortable, is impossible for them to ignore. It stirs something they may not yet understand, but cannot deny. It's important to see their reactions not as rejection, but as an opening, a chance for growth. Your unwavering authenticity becomes a catalyst, showing them that beyond their fear lies the possibility of liberation, should they choose to embrace it. When your presence challenges their ego, it stirs something deep within them, a confrontation with their own insecurities, even if they are unaware of it. Their resistance or negative reactions are not failures on your part, but signs that you've planted a seed, a quiet invitation to a more authentic way of being. You show them that life can be lived beyond the confines of ego, rooted instead in truth and authenticity. The key for you, chosen one, is to remain steadfast, to not let their discomfort shake your foundation. Their reactions are not a measure of your value, but proof of the impact your light has. By staying true to your higher self, you become more than a mirror of their fears. You become a reflection of their untapped potential, a reminder of the growth they are capable of if they choose to embrace it. You were not born to conform or to tiptoe around the fragile illusions others have built to shield themselves from truth. Your essence carries a purpose far greater, a divine mandate to stir, to awaken, and to ignite transformation in those you encounter. Your presence is a living reminder of the freedom that comes from authenticity, and for many, that reminder is both inspiring and unsettling. When others react with anger, fear, or frustration, it is not truly you they resist, but the reflection of their own untapped potential and the truths they've long avoided. You are a mirror, showing them the ways they've strayed from their own path, the dreams they've abandoned, and the authenticity they've sacrificed for comfort or acceptance. This confrontation is not easy for them, and their discomfort often takes the form of resentment or rejection. But remember, chosen one, you are not here to dim your light to soothe their shadows. You are here to shine unapologetically, to challenge the status quo, and to plant seeds of awakening in even the most resistant hearts. Their reactions, no matter how difficult, are proof of the profound impact you are meant to have. Chosen one, understand that the resistance you encounter is not a rejection of you, but a reflection of the inner turmoil you awaken in others. Your presence, rooted in truth and authenticity, acts as a spark that ignites the dormant embers of transformation within them. This discomfort, though unsettling, is a necessary step in breaking free from the chains of conformity and stepping into growth. By walking steadfast in your truth, you challenge not only individual perceptions, but also the collective structures that cling to outdated patterns. The friction you create is the force that cracks open the walls of stagnation, allowing new light to shine through. Yet, this path is not without its trials. The isolation you feel is not a punishment, but a sacred space for introspection and refinement. It is in these moments of solitude that you deepen your connection to your higher self, gaining the strength and clarity to carry out your divine purpose. Remember, the resistance you face is proof of the profound impact you are making, a testament to the power of living boldly and unapologetically in alignment with your truth. The solitude you experience is not a burden, but a sacred period of transformation, a time when your spirit is being fortified for the path ahead. Even those who push you away or meet you with resistance cannot escape the quiet impact of your presence. While their egos may fight to maintain control, their souls have already felt the tremor of awakening that your authenticity brings. Over time, some may come to recognize you not as an adversary, but as a beacon, a living testament to the freedom found in embracing one's truth. And even if they never acknowledge it, know that your unwavering integrity has left an indelible mark, planting seeds of change that may bloom in ways you'll never witness. Your journey is not about immediate validation, but about the quiet, lasting shifts you inspire in the hearts and minds of those you touch, even from a distance. The way others react to you, whether through frustration, discomfort, or resistance, is not a rejection, but a profound affirmation of your purpose. These reactions are the ripples created by the undeniable force of your authenticity, proof that you are fulfilling your role as a catalyst for change. You are not just a disruption, you are a revolution of truth, shaking the foundations of a world that has grown too comfortable with illusion. Your integrity, quiet yet unyielding, is your greatest power. By standing unwavering in your truth, you send out waves of transformation that reach far beyond your immediate awareness. Even when you feel unseen or unappreciated, know that there are silent witnesses, souls watching from the shadows, who are moved, inspired, and emboldened by your courage. Your refusal to conform is not just an act of rebellion, it is an act of liberation, planting seeds of authenticity in hearts you may never even know you've touched. Your authenticity is a light that cuts through the fog of superficiality in a world obsessed with appearances. While many chase validation through empty gestures and fleeting connections, your steadfast commitment to truth and depth challenges the very fabric of this norm. Your presence is not just a personal statement, it is a ripple in the collective consciousness, a reminder that life can be lived with purpose, courage, and meaning. This is the work of a trailblazer, and while it inspires transformation, it also stirs resistance. Those unprepared for growth may attempt to diminish your light, not out of malice, but because your truth disrupts their comfort. Yet this resistance is a necessary step in breaking the cycle of conformity. It forces others to confront the cracks in their carefully constructed illusions, even if reluctantly. Over time, your unwavering example will lead some to question the paths they've followed, the choices they've made, and the societal structures they've accepted without thought. You are not just living authentically, you are awakening others to the possibility of doing the same. The reach of your integrity is far greater than what is visible in the moment. While some may react with hostility or defensiveness, there are others, quiet observers, who are deeply moved by your courage, even if they never voice it. These are the ones who, inspired by your example, will begin to make subtle yet profound changes in their own lives, choosing honesty over pretense and depth over shallowness. They may never openly acknowledge the influence you've had, but your authenticity will serve as the catalyst for their growth. Even those who resist you now, bound by fear or ego, may one day look back and recognize the strength it took to stand firm in your truth. As they evolve, they will come to understand the quiet power of your integrity in a world that often celebrates conformity, and they will respect the bravery it took to be yourself against all odds. What once was misunderstood as arrogance will, in time, be recognized as the quiet confidence of someone deeply aligned with their purpose. For those who never reach that understanding, it is of no consequence. Your mission was never to seek their approval, but to spark transformation. Your role is to embody truth and inspire others to awaken, not to collect validation. The true power of your courage lies in the legacy it leaves behind. Though you may never witness the full extent of your impact, trust that your actions create ripples that extend far beyond your lifetime, touching hearts and shaping lives in ways you may never know. This is the beauty of living authentically, your influence becomes timeless, carried forward by the unseen waves of change you set into motion. This is the beauty of living in alignment with your truth. It transcends personal fulfillment and becomes a beacon for others, illuminating the way toward authenticity and deeper purpose. By choosing to stand firm in who you are not just protecting your essence, you are igniting a quiet revolution in a world that often values appearances over substance. Your unwavering commitment to integrity challenges the shallow norms that so many accept without question. Every step you take in truth sends shockwaves through stagnant comfort zones, awakening hidden potential in others and inspiring those who may never openly express their admiration. Even the resistance you face, the anger, frustration, or discomfort of others, is a testament to the power of your presence. It is a reminder that your courage to disrupt the ordinary is what sparks extraordinary transformation. You were never created to shrink yourself to fit into spaces that cannot hold your brilliance. You are here to illuminate, to embody authenticity so boldly that it calls others to step into their own greatness. So, stand firm in your truth, chosen ones, and let the discomfort of others be the fire that strengthens your resolve rather than the weight that dims your light. You are not simply unique, you are essential. Your existence is a testament to the fact that authenticity, courage, and integrity can flourish even in a world that often celebrates the superficial. Your light is a gift, a beacon that reminds others that they too can rise above conformity and embrace the fullness of who they are meant to be.